Hi everyone, Ken from Whittling Woods. This will be part 3 of our Get Started Whittling Today series. If you haven't seen the other 2 parts, introducing you to whittling, where you can basically get supplies and start your whittling journey right away. Simple and easy way to get going. This project here is a pretty simple project. You can actually do this. You see this little owl here. A couple of them I just did. They can be done in probably 10 minutes. Maybe once you get a little better, you may be able to do it in less than that. So it's a really quick, easy project to do, and it's a good beginner exercise. So we're going to be using the Stanley 199. You could use any knife you have. If you have a pocket knife like we talked about in the prior videos, that's great. If you have a regular whittling knife, probably even better. The wood I'm using is what I've been using. The purpose of these videos is introducing people to getting started whittling today. And so I'm using wood that you can buy at your big box store. This is a piece of pine. And as I explained in the other video, probably not, ideally the best wood to use for finer detail, but it'll get the job done. So anyway, quick little whittling project. We'll step you through it, and you have a little critter you can display. Alrighty, I'll be right back. What we're using here is just the same wood we used in video number 2. It's about 3/4, give or take. You can say 3/4. The length really doesn't matter. The entire little owl is about 1.5 inches. That's about it. So it's pretty simple. What we'll do is draw a couple quick guidelines. Maybe if you want exact measurements, I'd say if you come down maybe about 3/8, that's a good starting point for our first line. So maybe about 3/8. Again, these don't have to be exact. There's really no set measurements here. You kind of just go by feel, whatever you think is right. I just make a little mark there at about that point, and then I take this line and I go up almost to the edge, not all the way to the top, and I do the same thing on the other side. So again, not all the way to the top. So something like that. All right, and then same thing. Come down from that point. Again, really doesn't matter the distance, whatever you feel. Just try to keep the lines fairly symmetrical. In other words, they should end at about the same spot. In this case, like I said, the first was about 3/8, and then I guess I came down maybe, looks like 5/8 or so. But again, doesn't have to be exact. Mark a little line somewhere down for the bottom of the beak, give or take, and then like we said, it's going to be about 1.5 inches, so we'll mark the base and where legs are going to be right there, and then just draw a guideline across the bottom. You can use a square or something if you so choose to get your lines exact, and you make them all wonky like I'm doing here, but it'll get you the basic. We're going to mark another line here for where the body's going to end and the feet are going to begin, and draw that kind of just partially across, and then come down maybe about 1/3 of the way in and draw a line down like that. This is going to be the wing. Same thing on this side. Draw a line down. And there you go. That's basically your guidelines. And you'll see that we can cut this pretty quickly, actually. So anyway, I'm going to kind of show this for a little bit, and then I'll be back, and we'll start the whittling. But again, there's your guidelines. Pretty straightforward. The measurements do not have to be exact. Just giving you some time to kind of look that over. Same thing, symmetrical. Alrighty, I'll be right back. Okay, we're going to start whittling here. First thing, make a little notch right where those lines meet. Kind of cut up to that notch there. Take your knife and follow your guideline. make a stop cut, cut up to it, turn it around, same exact thing on the other side. Put it on your guideline and cut up to that. So there you go. On the bottom, same thing. Mark it with your knife, little stop cut, cut up to that. Same thing on the other side, just repeat. Put it in there. And cut that out over there. And there you go. Alrighty. Take a notch here, carefully. You don't want to chip off this piece here. It's going to form sort of the feathers for the ears. Take a notch there, cut that out. Same thing on the other side. Notch, notch. So we kind of got that over there. Alrighty. Then just take it and trim it back a little bit on the top. As you can see, go across the full piece. Trim it back. You don't have to do it all the way right now. Okay, let's mark where the beak is. Cut down here, stop cut straight into the wood. Cut up to your stop cut. Okay, angle the nose back just slightly. And then maybe make a line there and a line there, and then cut away some wood on both sides. All right, pretty much it. You can trim the nose, or excuse me, the beak a little bit like that. I tend to cut up a little bit on the sides, so you sort of have that in profile. Little beak. Alrighty. Here we're going to cut the bottom of the body. So we'll put another stop cut in, cut down to it, cut up to it. Form the line all the way across. Cut up to it, cut down to it. Same thing on the other side. Go into the wood, cut down to it, cut up to it. And let's round off the body a bit. That's it. Pretty straightforward there. All we're using is basic stop cuts. Now, for the wings, we're going to take our knife and we're going to follow that line in there. So put your knife in and follow down the mark. Go right to the base. You can see what I've done. All right. And then come back over here, the opposite direction, and just basically remove that. Alrighty. Same thing on the other side. We're gonna, in this case, we'll start from the bottom, and we'll cut up right to the top, and then we're gonna come back around and take that piece out like so. So there you go. I'm going to fix this side up a little bit. There you go. And then go down the other side of the wing, round it out just a bit. There you go. And same thing on this side. Just round it out. And then start taking down some of the edges on the piece over here. Just to remove, we don't want it to look too blocky. And just go around, trim it out. Round the body out a bit. And then for the back, we're just going to cut up like so, just to round it out. Real simple, just push cuts right to the top. And for the top of the head here, I like to kind of move it back a little bit like so. So you wind up with something like so. Pretty easy. None of these cuts are very difficult. I tend to trim the ears back a little bit. I wait kind of towards the end to do this because they can be a little fragile. And I've got that so far. Then I'm going to go around the base here. So pretty simple. Just you got your mark. Just go around, make stop cuts all around the bottom of the base. Pretty easy to do. Stop cuts. Just cut down to it. Follow all the way around. And then just start rounding it. You know, take your time. Get the base cuts down here, and then you can go back and clean it up as you want. What you can do for the feet is mark a center line here, and then maybe, the claws, and 2 lines on each side, and then just slice right into the wood. Go right down to your base. Slice into the wood, right in the middle. Slice into it. And then go back on the other side, do the same thing, slice into it. And then what we're going to do is just kind of put a little notch on the top and cut up to it. We're just widening these little cuts that we made. Put notches in there. Go around and do that. And then same thing on the other, just reverse it and do it over here. All right. And then for the middle part, let's see, do that. Cut that down a little bit. I like to angle the bottom of the claws a little bit, just to make it look more like a owl's claw. Here. So that's pretty much it right there. And essentially we're pretty done. The other thing I like to do is come in here with the eyes just to kind of define them a little bit. I put a little angle line here and there, if you can see that. And then I'll do the same thing on the other side. And what I do is I go in the wood here with my knife at that angle, cut right down into the wood. And then I take it the other side, the top part, and I start in the middle and I cut right down to it. And then this is like a basic chip cut, then you're going to come back and just remove that little chip. It defines the eye over there. And you can do the same thing on the other side. Cut into it, and remove the chip. Sometimes I'll go by the beak, make another little chip cut in here, like so, and same thing on the other side. 1, 2, and remove the little chip that you've got. Alrighty, and essentially that's it. You can go around, round this out, clean it up as you please, but you've got the makings of a little basic owl. I'd spend a little time, maybe clean up the claws a little bit, and then I like to kind of go back, maybe texture it slightly by taking small little cuts like this on the surface. Go back here, round everything out, get rid of any saw marks. And again, depending on the wood you're using, this being pine is not the best wood to use, but as you can see, it'll get the job done for a simple little project like this. It gets the job done pretty well. Again, these are kind of skill building projects, and I wanted to do something that's not a little figure. I know some people like just the little figures, but other people little human characters. But sometimes it's nice to, try something a little different. And these little owls are pretty straightforward, pretty easy to do. And you can see here, it didn't take very long to do. And you can probably knock off a bunch of these, get some good skills in practicing your whittling. So anyway, just wanted to do a part 3, quick little video, a little skill building exercise here that you wind up with a, interesting little project. And you can clean these up and, paint them up, and like I said, texture them, maybe even use different types of wood eventually. A darker wood would be nice. And you have a nice little owl. You can then cut the base here and give it as a little gift. Use it as a keychain or whatever you want to do. But anyway, there you go, a little skill building exercise. If everybody has any questions, feel free to leave them down in the comments, and I'll be happy to answer them. There you go. Take care.